turn 6. Not a bad turn, but I'm a bit pissed off because I lost a Cherub for no reason. I don't know what happened exactly. We are going to see in the replay. So it's quite a difficult fight because you've got one T3 doing a lot of damage and difficult to take down, 2 Cavalry moving very fast, and 3 very annoying Goblin Blight Doctors with weakening, which, in addition to the 60% Blight weakness, which just increase in a crazy way their poison bolt damage, the weakening gets you -1 defense and -1 resistance, and you should definitely not underestimate that. So once you're weakened, you are just going to die very, very, very fast due to the poison bolts. So you don't want 2 of them ganging up on you and one weakening you and the other one just destroying you. So I had no choice but to split them, otherwise I really had no chance to win. So that's what I tried to do. So I had 2 units to split them. One was the Cherub, the other one was the Builder, and because there are many units and they are in like circle kind of configuration, hexagon configuration, so it's difficult to split them as you want if you have only 1 unit. So I used the Cherub who started here to try to bait these 3 units, but actually specifically these 2, and then the Builder to try to bait this one in case it didn't go for the Cherub, which was very likely, and this Blight Doctor. And then the idea was to try to get these 2 Blight Doctors toward here and let them weaken me with one, using this natural obstacle to have one going there and the other one going there. Then this one weakens me, I kill him, the other one arrives, I kill him, and then it's 5 versus 4. So that was the spirit. I was lucky that I didn't charge on first round, so I had a lot of time to position myself. When you do the positioning, you need to remember you have to do damages in the first 5 rounds, otherwise it's the defeat for you. So you cannot really move forward to do the damage, otherwise you're at range of their fire and you're going to die. So you need to use a spell. I could not use Smith from my leader because I didn't have enough casting points, because I used the casting points for the Cherub. So I had to use my rogue, and I have blind or poison blade. So blind actually is better because Blight Doctors and the Big Beetle all have blight resistance. So the best targets are the two Warg Riders if you want to use poison blade, but that's not really doing a lot of damage. Whereas if the blind succeed, you can take one of the Blight Doctor down, and he cannot use his poison bolt for the rest of the battle. But 2 issues with that. One is you have you have a chance of failure, so it can be 15 CP for nothing, which means I usually never use that spell because that's a very high cost for a big chance of failure. And second thing is sometimes it doesn't count as damage, right? It's just blind. So sometimes they will not move forward to attack you, and they will just stay, and then you will need to move forward to attack them, and you won't have time, and you would take a lot of damage extra. So I advise to use a direct damage spell like Poison Blade. So it worked almost as I wanted. These 2 guys moved toward me. The only issue was I had a Blight Doctor here also. Otherwise, I could have just moved in this direction, and maybe I would have had time to reach this to escape, or maybe not, and then at least I can move here and then escape. But here I was weakened and I had 2 Blight Doctors on me, so I reasoned that it was not worth taking many damage for not much, and so I escaped. Because when I escape, these guys are quite far, and this guy can move back and I'm going to deal with this one, so it's good to have him coming to get killed. Actually, I should not keep him busy too long here, otherwise they will all the three will come together, so it's bad. And here with the Cherub, so I could move up to here, and when I watched, oh, okay, no, I know what happened. When I watched the preview of the movement of the Beetle, he could only reach here, but actually that's because I had my own Cherub in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's here. But actually, when I move my Cherub, it's like 3, 3, and he reaches me. So yeah, that was my mistake. Actually, I don't think I could move at any location where he would not be able to reach me. So if I had been more focused on this fight, I would have calculated I should be here. So I'm not sure how I could achieve that, but I needed to find a solution to keep him busy two turns, because if I escape now, I will have him coming back and them coming back, and it will be a bit too fast. So anyway, that didn't happen like this. I moved my Cherub, and then he engaged the Cherub, and the Cherub died. Then the rest of the fight is actually not that easy. Unlike many fights wherein the split succeed, then you won the fight. But actually here it's much more complicated because of the weakened and because of the high damage output. So the good thing is that this guy went for actually, I'm not sure that was good, but this guy went for the Cherub too. And yeah, and so I kept the Cherub without attacking to keep the Beetle Rider busy. And then the three other units, the 2 Warg Riders and the Blight Doctor, are going to move toward me, whereas the Beetle will be 1 turn behind. So that's a very good way to split them. You should not attack, but just guard and keep 1 unit busy. So here you can see, so my Cherub is dead. I used my heroes and leader to attack the Blight Doctor from far away to do 6 hits and maximize the experience taken. So it's 3 experience per hit. And then I finished it with one of my Civic Guard to stay far from the Blight Doctor. I didn't want to move my Cavalry forward because he would take a lot of damage from the poison balls. Whereas here, the first thing the Blight Doctor does is weaken my units, and so it doesn't do any damage, which is good. Here I can use the Cavalry to kill the Blight Doctor because the next Blight Doctor is quite far. So as much as possible, I have to keep these 2 groups separated and deal with one first, so this one, and then the second one later. And the Beetle Rider, as you can see, is no, actually the Goblin Big Beetle is quite far. But the issue is I need to be quite far, otherwise I'm going to take a lot of damage from poison balls and from the Warg Rider. But if I stay far, the Blight Doctor is going to stay behind the Warg Rider, and it will be difficult to kill him. Here I did a mistake in my positioning, so I stayed away from this guy. But I did a mistake. I thought, because my my rogue has 16-14 and my cavalry has 14-10, so the Warg Rider will maximize damage and attack the cavalry. And staying here means I can reach the cavalry, the Warg Rider after it attacks me, to flank him, or go for the Blight Doctor. But actually, it was quite obvious that the Blight Doctor would just weaken me, and then I would have 60% Blight weakness and less resistance and stuff. And so the Warg Rider attacks me. Also, I think the Warg Rider considers my hero as a priority target, so he goes for it. Anyway, I should have just stayed more behind, and because now my cavalry is there and cannot do much, and my hero is engaged. and I've got this Warg Rider nearby, so I'm in trouble. So yeah, what I did was to let my cavalry come back, but if I let him come back here, he would open his flank for the Blight Doctor and take a huge amount of damage. So instead I flanked the Warg Rider to let my hero move, to leave space for my cavalry to go flank the Warg Rider, and then the Blight Doctor can still flank me, but then he needs to move more and it's less damage. Then I used Iron Heart to heal and also to get the +1 defense, +1 resistance. And then I considered two options. One was to just guard and hope he attacks me, but that was not very likely actually. What was very likely was that the Blight Doctor would move here, flank me, the cavalry would move like this, disengage, move like this, charge, double strike, kill the cavalry. So I didn't want to take this risk. So first I hit the Warg Rider, but actually I should maybe have moved to drain one action point and then hit 2 action points drain, and then you can charge the cavalry. But the second option was to move the Civic Guard right up to here, so that if he moves like this, he takes 1 more damage and might prevent him from doing it. But then I need to guard with the Civic Guard because he's weakened and he's going to die if I don't. So the Blight Doctor still went for the cavalry, doing, like I said, pretty huge damage, 31. And the Warg Rider went for me. And then I've got the Big Beetle. So I had checked the movement of the Big Beetle and I saw he could not reach that back line here. So my plan was to kill the Warg Rider with range damage and retreat all my units on the line, and try to get the Big Beetle to hit me on the Civic Guard, on one unit with a lot of HP actually, so Civic Guard or my leader, so that then I can flank him and stay as far away as possible from the Blight Doctor, but actually he could still do three hits on me. It didn't work. The Big Beetle was clever and didn't go for my Civic Guard. So then I didn't really have a choice, because I could not kill him in one turn. And if I let him free of his movement, he would kill one of my units for sure. Whereas I could kill the Blight Doctor easily because he does a lot of damage, but he has only 31 HP, so I used one Civic Guard and the Cavalry to kill him. And then for the Big Beetle, because I had still a lot of HP on my leader, so I attacked twice, checking that the Big Beetle didn't have Cheerful, or Happy, or Very Happy, so 0% chance of critical, so no bad surprise, and his maximum damage output was 40, which is a lot, but cannot kill my leader, who was at 50. So when you do something like this, check if the unit has high morale. So 2 strikes on my leader, and then the last one on my rogue, who hit one more time, so four hits in total. And then the Big Beetle cannot hit me anymore this turn, and his action points are drained. And then I can just finish him however I want later. And then so I tried to maximize experience on my leader and rogue, and then I gave the final hit to the cavalry to try to get it to knight as fast as possible. So I leveled up my leader, my rogue, the cavalry, and 1 Civic Guard during this fight, and unfortunately lost the Cherub. Took a lot of damages and had to retreat with the builder. So the builder is here. So what I'm taking as upgrade is, for my leader I'm taking Field Medic. Oh, sorry, Healing Aura. I'm not a warlord. Usually I don't take that, but as you can see, I'm pretty badly injured, and I think I'm going to take a lot of damage for a while. So yeah, going for healing aura to be able to do more fights every turn. Touch of Faith is not really useful for now, and I've got actually only 3 points because I've got two free points. So yeah, there is nothing else I can take for now. But next turn I should be able to take next level Aura of Resistance and maybe Sacred Arms. Probably Sacred Arms instead of Chaplain. For my rogue, I'm going to take Quick Dash, which is really useful. As you can see, it costs only 4. That's a change on version 1.23 of the balance mode. Very useful because it heals, one thing, and more importantly, it gives back action points. So you can do, for instance, 3 times the range attack with my leader, then Quick Dash. I was going to say, and then cast a spell, but actually no, because you already use Quick Dash. But at least you can do a charge or something like this, or just a guard. Very good spell, and keeping the other points. These guys proposed Vassal, but no quest. Just like in my previous game, I was really hoping for a quest to get a free unit, but no quest. So in my previous game I waited several times to get a quest and never got any. Lemon game versus Excellency. So this time I just bought them as Vassal straight away, and for 120, and that's a good bargain because very good income and 8 research points, which are very welcome too, because I'm at 40 now. So I would get them as a quest in 6 turns, and I'm at 40, so it means I'm going to, after I research Prince Martyrs, I will go for Guerrilla Tactics in 3 turns. So in 5 turns I will have Guerrilla Tactics, which will be very useful. They are growing in 10 turns, but I'm probably going to buy them before that, because I've got actually no, I need to do the quest first, but I've got a very interesting dungeon here, so I'm clearly not yet ready to do the dungeon, but as soon as I am, I'm going to go for it, absorb, buy this, and then I think produce some Killing Momentum Crusaders. But maybe I should first see what Rookie is playing. So here I've got some gold. If we check that, so I was at 20. If I remove population, I come back to 10, because village is 10 base income and town is 20 base income. So I'm to have the 10 base income plus the gold 9 inside my domain. So actually it's 20 income. I'm going to do a Civic Guard first, and then Settler, which is also much more cautious. Thanks for watching, see you next turn.